This is a video response for Shafe, and I'm piggybacking off of a few things you said. I first became aware of the UBI, the Universal Base Income, around the time that Andrew Yang was running for president. He was on the Joe Rogan Experience, and I had listened to him, and I'd even made some videos about it, and they were quite popular. For my channel, they were I got a few thousand views on them. The so-called Yang gang would come in and be like, "Oh, you don't get it. Andrew Yang is something from MIT. You just don't understand." I tend to get that a lot, and that's all right. I think there's nothing I can say to Shafe that we wouldn't agree on this. I would say that we may see money a little different, though. Just the way that you say some things, where you chasing that money, or you need that money. I don't think about money that way, and I'm probably wrong. Just so we're clear, we talked about net worth. I swing from like negative hundreds of thousands of net worth to negative or positive hundreds of thousands of net worth pretty quick, depending on what all's going on, or what's selling, or what's businessing. I don't know, though, how to get through the head of these universal base income people that baseline value is something that can be damaged or obliterated. Here I am down in Florida, one of the most conservative states in the Union, or the lower 48, as the great white Stokely says. And a couple years ago, they put it to a vote and voted for a $15 minimum wage. And I spoke with an otherwise intelligent person about it even. Now, this man was retired, and he's like, well, it's just only fair. Those waitresses and those kids, they work hard. They deserve to make a living wage. You deserve to make a living wage. And when you get to talking to them, and it can be kind of scary. This particular person, we were able to sort of talk a little sense after a while. His background was he was a retired Union of Auto Workers, UAW. Did really well for himself. Retired a millionaire. Because why shouldn't you retire a millionaire, right? He did his job. I'd like to know what'll be the good argument to oppose it. I've mentioned to some of the young people that I get a chance to talk to when we talk about these things, baseline value isn't going to change. So if me building a house for you is worth a certain amount of sentiment, that amount of sentiment isn't going to change. The amount of dollars that compensate for that sentiment, if it all of a sudden becomes even more valuable for me to build that house because not as many people are building a house, or I have to pay more people to help me build that house, well, that sentiment is going to increase. How much sentiment value do we assign to someone who does nothing? We love them, right? We love them. Say they're our kids, and they don't have a job yet, or they're young and they're adorable and they're well behaved. So there's a certain amount of sentiment, there's a certain amount of value, and that's okay. Our kids get a certain basic income or basic taken care of. But it does rely on somebody pulling the load for them. Precisely like you said, Shafe. The gears of the economy have zero to do with the money. And if the grease isn't the money, either one, you'll find it be something else. Definitely it's definitely what the communists and socialists get wrong about capitalism. I will say, and Corey could actually back me up on this. In our case, like in my automotive field, we are very scalable. We're pricing things out in real time. So literally we can adjust up labor costs and our markup on materials and parts. It's automatic. So we're chucking 35% onto what things are costing anyway. Like it's scaling up around it so fast that it would make a lawmaker whose heart might be in the right place. It would make their head spin if they knew how quickly businesses adapt to it in real time. And then there's the banks, and Shape you can probably attest to this. The mortgage loans can adjust up to it. It's scary because they could put a stop to it, I think, or crush it. Like should a house that was $300,000 last year, all of a sudden, should you be able to get a loan on it for $500,000 because that's what the material costs say it should be? They do it, and they adjust up. The companies adjust up, and boom, it's instantaneous. Now your $2,000 or $10,000 a month of UBI doesn't go as far as it used to. The everybody that's written about it that I know of, your capitalist pundits, if you will, always say that it's the beginning of the end when people begin voting dollars into their own pockets. I don't know. It's a good conversation. I don't mind having it. I think now that I think about it, it'll probably be Atlas Shrugged that I go ahead and do next after Starship Troopers, as opposed to the Brothers Kazamarov. As much as I'd love to dazzle y'all with me reading Dostoevsky again. All right, catch y'all later.